Millions of people have experienced paranormal phenomena around the world.
Are you okay? Oh my God! It's Lord!
Most are terrified from it.
Jeez!
But there are the few that seek for the answers. My name is Matt Benton. I have been investigating the paranormal for a decade, and I am joining with Rocky from Chill Seekers to interview investigators across the globe to talk about their scariest and most extreme cases, to learn and share their stories. What truly happens out there? And what is the best evidence they can provide to show the phenomena is truly real?
Push the door, please. Just push the door.
Welcome to Devil's Hour Live. Well, we got Rocky now. Hello there. Okay, we got everyone. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, to Devil's Hour Live once again? We got a special guest today. His name is Tony Rathman. How are you doing, Tony?
Doing great, Matt. Pleasure to be here. Looking forward to having some discussions about what goes on in the paranormal. So thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Yeah, so we're gonna, let me just do a little quick shout out. Man, the chat's big right now. Also, I just want to make this little shout out because this happened before we were even live. This was a member, Sherry Rathman, which is your wife. Thank you very much for becoming a member for the channel. That's very much appreciated.
Awesome. Thanks, Sherry.
And then also Haunted by Haunted, Sierra, Nikki Rocks, Arden Paranormal. And then we got Dazzler 25. We got Conry Barnes. We got Selena. We got Crow of Judas. How's it going, Crow? And then we got Graham Mary, Martin Dillon, and then I'm probably butchered that name, sorry. And then Tracy. Yep. John. We got a lot of people. Lots of people. Glenn. New people. And then we got Billy. Billy from Paranormal Pursuit. How you doing, Billy? And tactical. Yes, Crow. He knows how I like it. It's a joke for people that watch the channel.
I didn't get it. So
yeah, you don't get it totally. We only have merch about it.
I know, right? Like I'm trying to just display. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, we're doing a show.
Yeah, we're doing a show, Rocky. Welcome for you to join us.
Thank you. I try to do my best.
He was in the restroom forever.
I forgot.
Yeah, you're busy in the restroom forever.
That's right. That's right.
He was updating us. Yes, he was updating us by phone messaging. Don't worry, guys. There's a big one coming. Just kidding.
Definitely three knocks. Definitely. So.
Well, guys, let's get started.
Demonic. Okay.
Yeah. It was demonic, all right. It was you were performing exorcism in there, weren't you?
That's right. I think I captured the EVP. So.
Oh yeah. I think there might have been a lot of contamination during that EVP session.
Possibly.
Anyway, Tony, let's get to learn a little bit about you. Tell us, what is the reason to why you became an investigator?
All right. I can easily explain that. When I grew up as a child, my father was a chemistry, physics, and physical science teacher. So growing up, if science couldn't explain it, to me, it didn't exist. So was I involved in the paranormal growing up? No, I wasn't. If science couldn't explain it, I didn't pay any attention to it. It wasn't until I met my wife and one Valentine's Day, she said to me, she said, I want to do something different this year. I said, okay, what do you want to do? She said, I want to go ghost hunting. And I was like, oh, shit, you're kidding me. But to appease her, of course, and make her happy, I said, all right. So did some research online, found a hotel that had a reputation for being haunted in the Phoenix area, booked a weekend, and thought I was done. But then I realized, wait a minute, how's she going to investigate without equipment? So I went out and I bought her a night vision camera, EMF meter, digital recorder. It was minor stuff, and it wasn't anything spectacular equipment-wise. It was just enough to let her have a fun weekend because I thought it would be the last we'd ever touch this. Well, we spent the weekend there, and we get back, and she starts going through the photographs, the recordings, the video recordings. She was calling me over every couple of minutes and saying, oh my God, look at this photo. Oh my God, what's in this picture? Listen to these voices responding to the questions. We were one of 3 guests in a 326 room hotel, and we were all on different floors. There was no one around. So we pretty much had full reign of the place. So we were going down every bit of hall. We got to go in the basement. They pretty much let us go anywhere at that point. But when she started going through the evidence, I mean, I was blown away for months. I could not explain where these voices were coming from, where these answers were replying to questions when there was no one around. And she got me hooked. We went back, we investigated that hotel over 50 times in the last decade and continued to get similar results, similar EVPs, similar names. That's what started this whole process of the last decade of paranormal investigations.
Okay. Yeah. Was there that? So basically, you just randomly told your wife like one day that you just wanted to start ghost hunting. When did this take place? What time frame?
February of 2010.
Okay.
Was the first one we had ever done.
Made it to a decade.
Yeah, a little bit over. Yeah.
Yep. So that's cool. Now you say that what aspect of the paranormal? Like you said, you're more into the scientific part of it.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely my upbringing. Like I said, with my father's background and what he did. So, you know, there's some real interesting things about paranormal, and a lot of it falls outside of what's known to science today. But when you can start to apply those scientific theories to support what's happening in the paranormal, and I think that's the objective of many investigators and researchers in the paranormal society today, is to be able to find evidence that can be supported by either what's known by science today, or science can adapt to catch up to what's happening in the paranormal. Those are some of the biggest challenges we face in order to be able to explain what's happening out there and how these things are occurring.
Oh, yeah. Like finding ways to validate the evidence, which is actually becoming rare in the paranormal. So one thing here, one second. I want to mention something in the chat. Yes, your emoji's there, Billy. It's there.
Is my emoji there? Is
Yes.
my emoji there?
Oh, Judas just posted
man.
it. You can't really see on StreamYard. Yeah,
So
you can't see it
if
on
you guys haven't heard Haunted AF, shout out to everyone supporting Haunted AF, and we know what AF means. American freedom. American freedom. God bless America.
Hey,
thought it
Jay.
meant something else.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the PG version. Now I want to change your emoji to where it's not having that white border. I'm not really liking that border. And we got a new member. Thank you so much, Bill.
awesome.
Thank you so much. You're awesome. Like a lot of people, whoever
He
wants
is
to become a
awesome.
member,
Bill's
the more members we get on this channel, the more emojis I get to make. And I'm going to do Twin Paranormal next is the next one I want to do. So everyone in the 411 group in the paranormal, I'm going to try and get on here. And so, also, I don't know, Joe's not on here. So, well then, He can't use his emoji. but
what hotel have you been investigating? Someone asked in the chat room for the last 10 years.
It was the Hotel San Carlos in downtown Phoenix.
Hotel San Carlos.
Downtown Phoenix. Ah, that's correct.
Downtown Phoenix.
I'm in the middle of searching for a location in California because I'm about to fly out there in like the 5th. I'm flying out, and we're trying to find a good location.
Location for anything specific or just an investigation?
Somewhere kind of near Temecula. It could be like an hour or two away. That's about it, though. I don't know if you know where Temecula, California is.
I do.
Oh, you do? So, yeah, somewhere near there. And
I got lost in the desert somewhere on a map a long time ago.
There's Joe. I found Joe. He's came out of hiding. But yeah, anyway, so what's a good? Do you know any good locations in that area? Have you investigated that area?
We have. I mean, California has a whole array of places. We've been out to a handful of them, and there's still a lot left on our list to do. And they seem to be popping up more today than they ever have in years ago. I don't know if people are inventing them or if they just realize things are going on, but they're popping up left and right. I mean, you've got hundreds of locations in San Diego. You've got, I don't even know how many in LA, and they just keep going. They go all the way up the coast. But we've got some great ones in Arizona, too, that are a lot of fun, including our own, which is the old Phelps Dodge Hospital, which is phenomenal. One of these days, you guys need to come out there and check that place out. It's amazing.
Oh, we will. Definitely
cool.
we'll come out.
Oh,
there. Hell yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of places in Arizona, Nevada. There's a lot of places out there. Still, there's like all over the country, all over the world. It never ends. There's always new places to investigate. That's one thing I like about the paranormal.
You know what I noticed is that like everything near it's more paranormal near water areas, like up and down the coastline of California, and then up and down the coastline of Florida and over there in New York and everything. It's just, I don't know. I just noticed there's that trend of paranormal activity near the water sources. So.
Oh, yeah, they say water's a conduit to paranormal activity, so that could very well be the reason. Plus, you've got California's got all the high magnetic regions in certain cliffs and between the San Andreas Fault, and I mean, there's so many things out in California that can add to paranormal activity occurring. That's probably one of the reasons why there is so much activity there.
Yes, Sorry, it's an
took the words right out of Matt's mouth.
I need to get an intro.
He didn't know what to do. He started looking around like, I don't know what to do.
Sorry. What I was going to say is like, yeah, we mentioned that on this channel a few times, that I believe that there's more heightened activity in areas that has floating water, and which is why I want to investigate more of those type of places. I would really want to investigate the Sur Lighthouse, Point Sur Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I really want to investigate. Here it's really active. Hello there, Kate from PSP Paranormal Pursuit.
Hello, Kate.
Oh yes, he just loves using that emoji. I wonder why. But
I don't see the emojis on my side. I just see like the little dots, and then it.
Oh yeah,
says the letters.
It won't show it on StreamYard. You have to go on YouTube.
Oh, you gotta go on YouTube. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so what's some of your most extreme cases, Tony? Like the ones that are very, very active. I think you mentioned one of them to me.
Yeah, the first one that comes to mind was an international location we did, and it is the Diplomat Hotel in Baguio City, Philippines. I mean, we have investigated all over the U.S. We've been to Japan, we've been to the Philippines, but this place was just absolutely insane, crazy. We spent, oh my God, probably 36 hours trying to get permission to do an overnight investigation there. And we ended up having to go to the mayor of the city to get written permission from him to be able to go in there overnight. It's guarded. There's guards at surround the entire exterior of the locations. Yeah, it's fenced in. So we had to get the mayor sign permission to spend the overnight in there. Once we got it, we had no problem getting in. But this place was crazy. I mean, we've been to locations where you could hear voices being spoken. You couldn't necessarily make out what they were saying, but you could hear that something was being said, not just EVPs that were coming through on a recorder. But this guard took about 20 steps to the building with us, stopped, turned around, said, "Have fun." And I remember my wife saying, "You're not coming in." He goes, "Not after dark, no way." And this place was insane. My wife, like I said, we've been to hundreds of locations. She's never run out of a location. We were in there approximately 20 minutes investigating, and we had made it up only to the second floor, and it was pouring rain outside. And she said to me, "Can we go outside for a minute?" I said, "You realize it's raining?" She said, "I understand. Can we just step outside for a minute?" So I said, "Okay." And we walked outside and we started having a conversation. She said, "Are you hearing all these voices?" I said, "Yeah, I was actually saying that to you and you weren't answering me." She said, "I wasn't answering because it's freaking me out." And she said, "I'm afraid I'm going to walk around a corner and something's going to be standing there." And she said, I've never felt like this before. This is really freaking me out. Well, we ended up spending the rest of the night in there after I calmed her down a little bit. But this place was intense and something I had not experienced to that level or that degree before.
Interesting. Of course. Interesting. That's kidding. But Truth Paranormal, thanks for the $2. Even though he's making fun of me. Except I've never put the letter H in productions before. but yeah, just wanted to point that out. But yeah, when it comes to like the location that you got scratched at, which location was that?
You know, that's a funny story. It got caused by the Hotel San Carlos in their basement, but it actually did not occur at the Hotel San Carlos. We were investigating the entire night the night before. And then the next day we went to go meet some friends. And we were given just unbelievable EVPs where they were giving us names. They were telling us what happened to them, how they died. Just an unbelievable amount of information. When this scratch happened, we were actually at a bar and I was telling the story. And I was using the names. I was using all the information of what happened. And the next thing I know, I hear Cherie say to me, "What'd you do to your arm? You're bleeding." And I hadn't even moved. I wasn't brushed up against anything. I was standing in front of the table that they were all sitting at. And sure enough, I had these 3 huge scratches, which over the next 20 minutes just swelled up like you wouldn't believe and burned like crazy. But it actually happened during the day. From what I was explaining from the investigation the night before. And apparently, and again, this is theory, but apparently they didn't like what I was sharing because these came out of nowhere.
I'm trying to show it, but my computer's being weird. There we go. Here, I'm going to show you what was captured. This is the raw one. I obviously edited a bit for the thumbnail, but here's the raw photo. Here you go. I forgot to put share screen. 1 second. Okay. This is what it looks like. And what's interesting about this is that this actually looks a lot like a lot of the scratches I have seen in the past. And also up here, how it starts is pretty weird too. And let me guess, was it a burning sensation that you felt?
Burning like crazy. When it first happened, I didn't even know it was there. Cherie pointed it out to me before I was even aware of it. But yes, then the burning started and got intense. But yeah, if you look at those scratches, the way that they start, I mean, that's doesn't look like an object scratch. That looks like a burn. And then it pulls down into like the scratch effect.
Yeah.
Rocky's covered up. He's trying to say hi.
Yeah, it's better like that. Just say it just says subscribe to Devil's Art Productions. We don't need Rocky there. Just kidding. No, just kidding. Here, let me move that.
He's like he's on the camera going.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, that's very cool. Actually, I really like the scratch.
I didn't, but okay.
Oh, I like seeing them. Like this is pretty cool looking because it actually is similar. Like up here, looks like it's a burn right in this area. Definitely right there, it looks like a burn mark, and that's very similar to Dante's scratch and also Jason's scratch from Mackey Mansion. The ones at the Mackey Mansion were a bit thicker, but the burn mark look.
Right, and that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like a burn. It didn't feel like a scratch where you rubbed up against something and it tore the skin. It literally felt itchy, hot, like a typical burn. And then it burned all the way down the scratch mark. And I mean, that lasted for hours. And I think the actual scratches themselves where it actually bled from, which wasn't a lot, but those lasted a day or two, maybe 3 at the most, and those were gone. But it, in a couple hours time, it had really reduced from what it looked like when it began.
I wish I could get an entity scratch and have it as a permanently. Be like, yes.
Like a tattoo?
Yeah, I got like a tattoo. I was like, yeah, this was by an entity. That's what I would like. That would be awesome. Hey, entity, can you tattoo me with scratches? My dreams about being scratched. Yes. That is a really cool one. It also reminds me of, the whole mocking of the Trinity thing. 3 scratches.
3 scratches, yep.
And out of curiosity, are you a Christian?
I am.
Makes sense.
So that's a very good possibility. And those scratch
on Easter and Christmas, or like through the whole week, like
a little more during the holidays sometimes. But the farther we got into the paranormal and the more stuff we experience, it's really funny how, for years I probably was not religious based at all. I grew up with it, went to Sunday school, all that sort of thing. When I got older, I kind of pulled away from it. But, being involved in the paranormal and the things that you experience and the information that comes through EVPs and spirit box sessions and everything else, it's amazing what connections there are, alignment between the two. And it does draw you into it. It does draw you back. There's no doubt about that.
Connery is so right. What would happen is they would take a photo of the scratches, and then I'll get it tattooed on me. The exact same place. In the exact same place. I'll be like, I'll treasure it. Just kidding.
He really isn't kidding.
Yeah, probably not. I'll be like, can you copy this exactly? Don't mess up. But I don't think you could get ink to look like the same as that, though, is the issue, as the scratches.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah, I need the most pro person ever. So, when it came to that one location, actually, have you ever had like any poltergeist type activity before? Like when things are thrown?
We've done personal home investigations where, yes, we have run into that. In fact, the worst one we've ever done was in just outside Las Vegas, and we got a call, and this woman was saying she had items being tossed, moved. She had shadow figures. She had just a whole array of different things occurring. In fact, I'm not sure if you're going to play it, but I think I sent a spirit box session, this weird figure. And, I don't know for sure that it's paranormal. It could have been something attached to a spider web. I don't know what it was, but we had a camera set up and it dropped from the ceiling, and then it sort of spun across right over the lens of the camera. It was unbelievable. But
Whoa.
the biggest thing that we ran into was when we first walked into the house, she offered us a cup of coffee because we had just driven from Phoenix. And
would you guys like some coffee?
Kind of exactly like that. But the loudest growl you have ever heard came from the corner of the room, and this was vicious. And first thing my wife says to her is, "Do you have a dog?" She's like, "I don't have any pets." And I mean, this was just deep and rumbling growl, and I'm like, okay, this one's going to be fun.
Rumbling growls. I like growls. What was the name of that footage that you're talking about?
I think it said D House shortened. I think it was
Demonic coffee.
Demonic coffee. And then the thing falling from the ceiling, I think that was labeled WTF, because I don't know what that is.
What the F? Okay. It says, what was that? Was one.
Okay, that was it. That was it. Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
Here we go. Okay, so this is what it is. Let me give you guys a look at it. Okay, so here's the video.
See how it kind of like spins?
Yeah.
That says to me, that could possibly be on a spider web or something, but it appears out of nowhere, and that one still throws me for a loop. But so I'm not going to say 100% that's paranormal, but it's odd.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's lint.
Could be.
Or a hair. I don't know. Don't know. Interesting.
What was that?
Exactly. But there was so much that was going on in that house. In fact, I had reached out. We knew we needed a little help with that one because whatever was in there was vicious. And what we got on the spirit box, those responses just blew me away because they were vulgar and they were mean and they were calling me by name. It was crazy. But we reached out to Bishop James Cloud and trying to find somebody who was qualified enough to go in and help this woman. And he recommended, I don't know if you guys know Joe Thompson, but he recommended Joe Thompson to us. And Joe drove out from LA to Vegas and did basically a minor rite on the place and helped us clear it out.
Well, I got
a quick question. Sorry.
Sure.
During the minor rites, did anything occur? Like, was there any type of things more active in the house while this minor of rites was being read?
No, and the reason being is because before he did it was that's okay. Yeah. He had her move everything out onto the porch, but it turns out she had items that there was a Ouija board that she had collected for I don't know how long. There was a little wooden rocking horse, which is now in Zach Bagan's museum on Peggy's room on the floor. That was in her house. She had a key to a cell of Alcatraz. I mean, these are items that are going to cause problems and going to cause a key to an Alcatraz cell. I mean, whoever was stuck in that cell is going to want that key. But she had moved everything out to the porch. But the one thing that did not completely get resolved was whatever was attached to those items, because they were still, and last we knew, were still on her porch.
What, in your opinion, is the reason why you got those scratches? What do you think it was trying to do, in your opinion?
My opinion is that they wanted me to shut up. They didn't want me using their names. They didn't want me giving the information that they had given to me and trusted in me, because I was asking those EVP questions and those answers were very clear. We had first and last names. We had what had happened to them, that they were on the other side. They were communicating with me like crazy. Then I go the next day, we went out with some friends and I'm telling them all this. And that's when that occurred. And my personal opinion is that was my warning, shut your mouth.
And now you're telling it to everyone on this live stream.
Well, I'm telling it at a 40,000 foot version. I'm not giving names, details. I'm smart.
I want names.
Yeah, and I'll have more scratches. So no thanks. I'll keep that information to myself.
We need to record them manifesting.
All right, here they come.
Hey, that's evidence right there.
That would be.
I'm just messing. But not really.
Let's do this experiment
You see my video.
live.
Yeah, when you're brave enough to scratch your own arm to compare it to the scratches that were shown on somebody's back, yeah, that's about as scientific as you can get, Matt. That was bravo on that.
Well, now I just want it to manifest in front of our eyes. That'd be even better.
I agree.
I need a scratch victim, the one that's gets scratched all the time.
So you've never been scratched, Matt?
No, these things don't attack me.
You've never been pushed, punched, shoved,
No.
nothing? Oh,
No.
wow. Anything thrown at you? Rock, stone, pebble, anything?
Not at me. No.
Wow.
Yeah, you had rocks thrown at you.
I got a pebble thrown. I forgot about that. Yeah, I got a pebble that was thrown at
Yeah.
me. But obviously it's a pebble, so it wasn't meant to hurt. I forgot about that. Yeah, at Mackey Mansion, there was a pebble that hit me on my arm. But that was, I don't consider that an attack when it's just something that small.
Right.
I want a piece of brick thrown at me, then I'll be better.
Careful what you wish for.
I really wish.
You just might get it.
It would just be a big bruise and probably a concussion. You never know. But Hamilton, hello. Hello, Jinx, for coming here and joining us. Now let's see here. What's another piece of footage? Actually, here, let me look at them right now. The footage I have. This is an image that you captured at a location. It's called the Gaston Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell a little backstory on that.
Absolutely. There's a hotel down in the southern portion of Arizona called the Gaston Hotel. It has a reputation for being haunted, oh man, probably the last 25, 30 years or more. And there's been lots of investigators in there. They got an old basement underneath that runs underneath the building. They've had multiple owners say that, yeah, this place is haunted. They've seen apparitions in the basement. They've seen apparitions, and they have the most unique lobby you've ever seen. It has these like Greek pillars in it, and the tops of the pillars on this ceiling are all 24 karat gold. I mean, it is absolutely a beautiful hotel lobby. Well, there was a reputation of a room on the third floor. It's room 333, which is supposed to be the most haunted room in the entire building. So, of course, I said to Sheree, all right, this is in Arizona. Let's go. We're going to go spend 3 nights, 4 days in this room. Well, the only drawback is that they had remodeled floors 1 and 2 with, new rooms, new furniture, new air conditioners. Level 3 had old furniture, no air conditioners, and of course it's Arizona. It was probably 6 degrees while we were there, so that definitely helped make it uncomfortable. But the energy in that building from floors 3 up to floor, I think it had 5 or 6 floors, was just vicious. In fact, I had to pull my wife out of the hotel at one point because we were literally at each other's throats. And after being there for 3 days, and I'm like, okay, this is just getting vicious. Well, we got to step out. Well, that picture was taken when we had actually stepped out. They had a balcony that overlooked the street, and that balcony was only open Friday night and Saturday night. And it's only accessible from inside on the second floor above the lobby to get out onto the balcony. And they had a wooden door that would shut and lock, and then they had a metal gate that went over the door. Well, Sunday nights, it was not open. It was not, there's nobody out there. There's no way to get out there. While we left the hotel to get some air, we were across the street, and Cherie took a picture of the building. And it wasn't until we got it home that I'm like, what's glowing in the corner? What is that? And we zoomed in on it. And if you want to show that, you'll be able to see what we saw.
Here you go, guys.
What was that?
So there's
creepy.
And then we have, hold on one second. There was a question for some people here. I saw, well, this one's from Hamilton. I saw it up here. Make my, sorry, I just saw that too. Yeah. That would get very annoying quick. Okay, sorry. Where is that? Here it is. So what is the most creepiest location you've been to, in your opinion?
Creepy.
Well, every place has its own definition of creepy. I mean, you have the creepy from a visual perspective, meaning that it's got that haunted look. It's got that scary feel to it. You've got what's considered creepy when your emotions start playing with you and you start having thoughts that you normally don't have. Then you've got the physical aspect where you're being touched, punched, things thrown at you. So creepy can come in all layers, in all forms. Some of the creepiest places that we've investigated, definitely, without a doubt, the Diplomat Hotel. The Hotel San Carlos is definitely up there, and I know a lot of people aren't familiar with that place, but they have a penthouse on the roof that hasn't been used in 45 years, and we did get an opportunity to go up there, and it is creepy as can be. Their basement is creepy. We've been in the tunnels underneath the La Posada Hotel, which used to run all over the city. A lot of them are blocked. We had shadow figures darting out left and right from the corners. That place was creepy. Parts of the Queen Mary were a little on the freaky side. Yeah, because that place is unbelievably active. The basement of the Bel Air House definitely threw us for a loop here and there. There's so many of them, but that it's not always the same creepy. They're all different. They all have their individual characteristics, and some have more on one side than the other, but they have multiple ones that when you combine those, it becomes a definitely memorable experience of having to have investigated it.
Yeah. If anyone has questions for Tony, let us know in the chat.
We did have a question about what group Tony is with.
I am with
the name.
Sure. I'm the founder and lead investigator for Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations. We've been around the last 10 and a half years. So that's the group that we run, and we also run what we call the Copper Canyon Paranormal Research Center, which was the old Phelps Dodge Hospital in Ajo, Arizona.
Okay. And thought that was funny. Yes, I would love to be clocked in the head by a 2x4 if it was by a ghost. Please. Just catch it on video, then we're good. That's all I ask for. And let's see, there's another question. It said in my mod chat, there's another question. I didn't see that. But it's from Hamilton again. What's the most intense place? Oh, here it is. What's the most intense place you've been to? I think you answered that one. What was it?
Yeah, that would be the Diplomat Hotel. I mean, that place was just off the charts. I remember trying to change a battery in my camera. Sheree and I had come down from, I think we were on the 3rd floor. Battery had like 10% left, so I was going down to change it. And I'm standing there, and I'm taking the old battery out. And just as I'm doing that, my arm gets tugged up against this gate. And it didn't stay there long, maybe a half a second. I don't even remember. But all I know is the battery flew out of my hand, and my arm was literally pinned against this gate. And that place, just one of the craziest places we've been, which I want to go back to as soon as possible. Sheree is a little more hesitant, but I definitely want to go back.
I want to go there.
It's awesome. It is awesome.
I want to be pinned against the wall. That sounds so dirty.
Matt, watch what you say.
Someone's going to clip this and use it in something.
Yeah, you'll find that popping up all over the internet, Matt.
Yes. I'm going to become a meme.
Oh, my gosh. I want to be pinned up against the wall. Really?
Now we got one of Dwayne, too. I purposely did that. I personally made that joke. It was kind of funny. Carl says his bedroom is intense. I'm sure it is.
It's like a MySpace file pic. Kind of like
I got the same vibe from that photo. It looks like the MySpace guy almost. If there's any questions at all, we are down to answer. And yes, it gets funny sometimes. I know. Any funny questions is fine too.
Cricket chips.
Is there any certain EVPs you've captured on investigations or live streams?
We have terabytes of EVPs from the last decade. Terabytes. Yeah. Terabytes.
This one I actually wanted to talk about because I wanted to question something about this. Here, look. I'm going to add this. Listen to this one, guys. Whoa. Which one? So,
where'd Rocky go?
No, he's going to disappear again forever.
Oh.
Just kidding. Okay, now we got this open again. This one right here.
2 minutes, 18 seconds. I got a giggle. Really? There's a woman in here.
So there is no woman with you during this?
Nope. There were two of us, myself and our other investigator from Entity Voices, Chris Allgood. And we were standing in the operating room. This is the Copper Canyon Paranormal Research Center, the old Phelps Dodge Hospital. And out of nowhere, he is a sensitive. So out of nowhere, he says, "There's a woman in here." I had no idea. And I was recording. And so he said it out loud. And as you saw, a second or two later, she clearly responded, "That's an EVP." She clearly responded and said, "You're right." So he knew she was there.
Cool.
There's a woman in here.
It's clear. It even sounds like it has. Was it audible to you guys at the moment?
Did not hear it.
Interesting.
Not by our own ears. Did not hear it till the recording, but it is so clear on that recording. You would wonder why we couldn't hear it, but we didn't.
Sorry. Just saw Tanya's post. Yeah, I know, Joe. Joe, you should never investigate with me again. Ever. Never.
It's dangerous to investigate with Matt Benton. So every time.
It's funny because you mentioned that whole attack thing, but it's actually a lot of other people around me that get attacked. I don't know why. So
good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. So do you want to go on an investigation together?
Sure. I'm up for it.
Cool. Jason's never been attacked in his life, and then all of a sudden he went on an investigation with me.
Got attacked?
Kind of. Yeah, he got scratched and also got hit in the head with a rock.
Oh, jeez. There's a reputation you want, Matt.
I do want extreme activity, except it's not doing it to me. It's doing that to other people. What's up with that? I just need to capture it on film. So, I think there's another one that I wanted to go over. It was this FLIR footage that you got that, I don't know. It's the thing is about FLIRs is like they have a certain distance and range.
True.
How they read. So I don't know if it's like just like when it disappears, it's reaching its max point for a moment and then comes back. I don't know. But here,
the worst part about it was that I had just turned it on, and I was preparing to set it up on a tripod because, of course, holding it by hand isn't good when using a FLIR. It needs to remain stationary so that you don't get anomaly effects of temperature changes and stuff. But I turned the FLIR on, made sure it was operating. When I looked down, I saw this figure. And I had two choices, either try to put it on the tripod or just capture whatever I could. That's the reason why you see movement, because I am physically holding it. But yeah, go ahead and show that.
Okay. So this one is in the hall, it says.
Hotel San Carlos, yep.
So look in this area, right? That's the one. What is up there, by the way? See there, you see it there.
Yeah, you see it walk across.
Yeah, it moves.
It comes back, too.
Yeah, it does.
That's a doorway that goes to an L-shaped hall that goes off to the right. So it's literally standing right at the corner of the hall.
Yeah, see,
it's still there. It just changed color. But, again, those are all room temperature colors. There's no body heat there.
Oh, yeah, definitely not a person. I got that right off the bat. Not a real person. You would see the person like this.
Right.
Up there.
Right.
We start
moving forward to see if I can get a better shot, and then it's gone. It never comes back now.
That's cool. That one's pretty cool. The thing is, like thermal, it actually does not show like temperature from like a breath or anything like that, or gases. It only does contact temperatures, surface temperatures. So that's interesting to even capture anything with a FLIR, because it has to be really physical for it to even capture it.
I want to say something. It does pick up gases. I've seen that video where somebody farts.
That's fake.
That's fake. That's fake.
I know. I'm just teasing.
I knew somebody was going to mention that video, though.
Doesn't that make it
different?
Investigate? I guess. If anyone likes that type of activity, then come down and investigate with me.
Don't do it, eh?
I'm not finished with you, Rocky. Not finished.
Don't do it.
Going back to that old Washoe Club, and you're my bait. Just kidding. So
he really isn't.
Nope. What kind of spirit box do you use? Is what Crow of Judah says.
Wow. Over the last 10 years, I think I've built probably 15 or 16 of them. The one I currently use, we call the Evox. And to me, this thing, I haven't built anything that's worked anywhere near where this thing does. It's phenomenal, and it uses a variety of different mechanisms to bring the voices through. It's got the ability to change the way that it brings in the voices and as well as puts them out. but it works phenomenal. We've used it in so many locations. And I think you have a clip on it. Just one, actually, I think when I just first finished the original build. Now it's gone through multiple changes over the last year. But I think I did send a clip. One of the first just very constant communications where I was asking questions and the answers were coming through very distinctly, very clear, and very correct to the questions I was asking.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of that one?
It's Evox, EVOX.
Okay, I found it.
What was that?
That's the name of it. What was that?
They're all titled that.
Yeah,
What was that, Bob?
There 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have done that. That would have been funny.
How many spirits are with me right now that I'm communicating with? Can you tell me that? 5. Thank you.
Do you have it connected to a PS7?
A bit more. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I appreciate you responding.
Yeah, it's connected to the SB7. You see it right there.
In this point, yes, this was the first build, and yes, we were using a connection to an SB7. It doesn't use that anymore today.
That's cool that you took out a lot of that static sound, though. Like, it's not even close to being as loud as it usually is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it easy to communicate with this box? But it does help me produce better equipment that I can hear you better. Is this box easy to use? It's perfect? Good. Are there more or less spirits with me right now? What number? I don't know. You tell me.
What kind of box do you have now? Is it the current one that you use?
That's the current one that I use, yes, but not with the SB7 anymore. That's been removed.
So, do you want me to keep going on
it? You don't have to. I mean, that the majority of it was in the first half of it. Yeah, that the questions really got answered.
Okay. One thing I'm not finding in the chat, but someone in my mod chat says that one of the questions was from Condry Barnes. Anything ever follow you home or tag you along to another investigation? The scratches.
We have been followed home many, many times. We've had
lucky.
We've had spirits follow us from one location to another. A couple of examples that I can think of: when we went to the Bel Air House, we have EVPs from a voice that we had recognized very distinctly from the Hotel San Carlos. We've had a spirit in the old Phelps Dodge Hospital, and his name is Michael, which he's given us. Matter of fact, I think you have that clip, Matt, where he actually gave us his name. He followed us all the way to the Philippines and showed up at the Diplomat Hotel, warning us not to go down a specific hall.
Yeah, I don't get anything follow me home, and it sucks. I hate that.
You got to be careful what you wish for.
I want things. Read. That's probably why.
There's nothing to do.
Like, I just wish things would just randomly throw around in my house one day, but it doesn't happen. Because then I can make a series of my own place. I'd be like, you know what? I want to make a series out of this. We'll see how much activity I get, but no, it doesn't happen.
He's editing again. Forget this. I'm taking off. We're going back.
I know, right?
We can't even. We can't even run a recorder, a digital recorder, or even a video camera without it being filled in our house with voices that are not our own. My wife was giving the dog a bath one day, and I had actually left the house to go run some errands, so she was the only one in the house. Well, the dog got out of the tub and started running around the house like crazy. Well, she thought it was funny, so she got out her video camera and was recording the dog acting all crazy. Well, then the dog got up on the couch and she got upset. So, of course, she threw the recorder onto the bed and went to go get the dog off the couch. Well, she forgot about it, and it recorded like 45 minutes. Well, when I got home, I saw it. I'm like, why is there a recorder running? She goes, oh, I was videotaping the dog. Well, I started going through the audio, and there is voice after voice after voice making comments about what the dog is doing, telling the dog to settle down, calling the dog by name, making comments about what Sharia is doing to get the dog to settle down. There were man's voices, there were women's voices. There were probably 6 or 7 voices on that audio, none of them hers, and absolutely insane. In fact, I still have those recordings today. Cool.
One morning you're going to wake up to a new hell, laugh my ass off. Like, for me, that would be heaven. What are you talking about? Like, I wish I could get dragged out of bed. It would be so nice to actually have that experience. But it doesn't happen. I'll put my foot out, ready for any entity to grab. Oh, yes, I do, Jay Paranormal. Yes, I do. You don't know me. I'm very, very, very much want it. Matt needs to record himself sleeping. I bet he'd be amazed. Nah, all you're going to hear is a little bit of snoring and talking. And then wake up and edit. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, is there any other questions? Actually, I think there was one. Hold on. Actually, it was. So, Spirit Stalker Afterlife says, is there a certain day EVPI does investigations or live streams?
Yeah, we do a live stream Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific time. In fact, Matt's going to be on one coming up August 12th, but we do them every night. They get live streamed off of my Facebook page right now. We're making adjustments to that, but right now they're shown off of Tony Rathman. You can find them there. We've had some great guests. Rocky was on 2 weeks ago, and we got some great guests coming up, which I'm going to release that. I got one more spot to fill, and as soon as I get that guest set, I'll release the next 6 weeks of guests. But we've had some great ones. We've got some great ones coming up. So yeah, if you want to check out that live stream, please go ahead. We cover some great topics, a similar format to what I see Matt's doing here, but we bring in investigators. We let them supply us with evidence clips that we can talk about, review, talk about how they captured it, what was going on. So yeah.
I heard Matt's going to be wearing a dress on that. So be sure to tune in August 12th.
Okay. Let's end this right here. Okay.
Matt, tactical tips.
Okay. Let's end this right here. I'll do it because everyone's keep telling me to. I'll do it when we hit 10,000 subscribers. When we hit 10,000, I'll take a photo or a quick video, and then that's it. We're ending it there. Okay? 10,000 subscribers you have to hit there, and then I'll do it. How about that?
Gotta set goals.
So if you give me 10,000, all the people that keep saying that, finally, you'll get that, I guess. Oh, my God.
To the draft.
And that's going to stay on the internet forever. Damn it. So yeah, make sure you share this channel around if you really want that. So I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you. Like about 7 to 10 people have probably said this. I have no idea why.
Someone said, "How about a penguin suit?" No, we got to do the dress first. 20,000 is a penguin suit.
There you go. Man. There you go. Yep. Nikki says it's 10. Yep. There you go. 10,000. Make it happen. Then I'll do it. I'll keep my word. I'll do it. And then
you'll see Matt run past the camera real quick, and he's too.
I'll do a skit out of it or something like that. Make it funnier.
I'll be right back.
Jesus, Matt wears the dress and will be haunted for the.
He went to go. In real quick. So.
I'll take him off screen for a moment. But yeah, so that's what's going to have to happen if you guys want me to really do that. Jesus. Go from Matt Tactical to Matt Toot. Oh my God. It's going to be embarrassing, but if you hit 10,000, that's a good goal, I guess. So we'll do it. So we have another one, I believe. Hold on one second. I have right here. Again, image in the home. Camera is not working. The camera is not working is what it's titled.
Yeah. Okay. Again, another private home investigation. And they were complaining about shadow figures in the hall. They were complaining about voices being heard at night. And they were saying that their daughter was absolutely terrified because something kept coming in and out of the room. So, of course, we go over there. We've got some really high EMF readings in the hallway that they're talking about. So we decided to set up laser grids, motion detectors, night vision cameras, digital recorders to try to catch any instance of this thing performing any type of movement, of a shadow figure, whatever we could catch to either say, yes, there is something going on here, or no, there's not. Well, the funniest part about after we set up all this equipment, we're getting ready to walk out and go back downstairs. And my wife said, or one of our other team members said, you know, are you there? Can you walk by or something like that? And this spirit voice leaves an EVP on the machine that literally says, your camera is not working. And the funniest part about it was absolutely correct. The night vision camera that was set up to record the laser grid, the motion detectors, any shadows moving through the hall did not record. So we never did get the video, but yet right on the audio is the spirit we're trying to capture, either identify or and it leaves us a message saying, hey, your camera's not working.
Yeah, so this is it, guys.
Must have been an IT spirit.
Can you walk up and down the hall for us?
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Ooh, wow, that's pretty good.
Can you walk up and down the hall for us?
I can't really hear this part, but I do hear the working very clear. I hear whispering before that, but I can't really make it out.
I hear it.
Have to keep them working. I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, we thought that was strange just because, and it was absolutely correct. Like I said, when I went to go pull the card from the camera and review it, it didn't record a thing. We got that error that comes up that says your files are corrupt. It didn't record a thing. But yet there it was telling us, hey, your camera's not working.
Nikki's in the group chat of the mod chat saying that she's going to be making this dress. Oh man. It's super clear on your end. Okay, cool. Some people hear that.
It will be sponsored by hashtag Haunted AF.
Oh my god!
Anyone who would like to make donations could, for this could sponsor from yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good.
Too funny.
It's definitely a very clear one. The very loud one, definitely.
Yeah, it was. It was impossible to miss, and like I said, what really raised the level of it is that the camera did not work, and that was just incredible to me. That we're sitting here trying to use every piece of equipment we can to identify what this is, and here it is leaving an EVP for us saying, "Hey, your equipment's not working." Come on, that's crazy.
By the way, Nikki, I have a pretty big chest, so it's gonna be. Don't make it too tight. Sorry,
we're gonna make it like really short.
Oh my god. Oh god, are you gonna put me in heels too? Don't do it. I'll just dress. I'm just doing dress.
Combat boots.
That's yes. We'll do my combat boots. And then we'll do
combat boots.
I'll do my American flag hat and then just a dress. Put the vest on. I'll put the vest on too.
His outfit.
That would be hilarious. That's what we're gonna do. You just have to hit 10,000 subs, guys. So share this around the channel. I'm gonna be in California for a week, so while I'm there, since I can't bring all of the footage from Harrisville Haunting, I'm going to be editing a video of the Lassen County Hospital while I'm in California because I only have enough memory for that over there. Lassen County Hospital. There's unseen footage that no one has seen yet from that investigation with Patrick and the haunted side. So you're going to see that for the first time. Just wanted to point that out, promoting. It'll be premiered, by the way, so you guys will be notified. So another thing, any questions from anyone? Let's ask Tony anything. Anything you guys want. Just keep it PG for him. You don't have to. You don't have to do that for us, but for him.
Shoot away. Shoot away.
Any questions at all? Oh my god, I'm not wearing a thong. No.
Matt, Joe said you have to wear a wig.
A wig? Oh my god. I think it'll be funnier looking with all the tactical stuff and then a dress. I think that'll be hilarious.
Are you going to be in makeup?
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, this is going to be all over the internet. People are going to make memes out of it or something. Next t-shirt.
Right now.
Right now we have, let's see. So
9,999. No,
that was. So right now we have 4,261. So we have a lot to go. So if you guys want to see it, I have to share the stuff. You can share like my top videos, I guess, the ones that's the door footage or whatever. That'll get maybe people interested. I don't know, but yeah. So if you guys want me to actually wear it, 10,000. Is it true your dress will be see-through? Oh my god. I don't know. Ask Nikki. I have no idea what she's making. But I'll definitely be wearing boxers or something underneath. No, we're not doing thongs or G-strings. Not happening. Oh my god. This is getting crazy. Dress up as Batman and Robin and Green Hornet and Kate. Who's Kato? I don't know Kato.
Kato? Oh, you never seen the Green Hornet?
Oh, okay.
Bruce Lee, man. Bruce Lee.
Okay,
Sweet.
yeah.
The mask. I like the new version was good too with Seth Rogen. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Wait. Does Tony believe beers can be attached to objects? What do you mean? Like, you mean...
I've had them attached to me, so yeah, that can happen. Absolutely.
Tony, do you think you've gotten more paranormal activity overseas or here in the States?
Well, the cool thing about the overseas stuff is that we got EVPs in 4 different languages. We got it in English, Tagalog, which is the natural language for the Philippines. We got it in Japanese, and we had EVPs in Italian. So that was the really cool part. Now, going through the review of those and trying to figure out what was said, luckily my wife speaks 3 out of those 4, so that definitely helped. But the Diplomat Hotel was definitely a crazy place, and we ran into things there we had not experienced before. So the overseas locations are just great because there's so much more history than here in the U.S. and there's so many other paranormal stories about what happens from other cultures, and it's a real unique experience to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go overseas to investigate. Sounds fun. No,
you don't speak the language, and like the spirits. There's a demon over there.
Yeah, you wouldn't know until it's too late.
We're getting responses. This is great. I wonder what they're saying. There's a demon over there. So.
The funny part is, I know enough Tagalog to get my face slapped, but my wife obviously speaks it fluently, and we're going through the EVPs, and she's telling me what they said, and she's like, "Yeah, you were just told to fuck off," or "You were," and it's just like, what? You're kidding me? She's like, "No, I'm serious." Sorry, that's crazy.
If remain patient, I'm going for questions right now. Where would you really like to investigate? To do an investigation, I mean.
I've got a couple of bucket list places yet that I have not gotten an opportunity to go. One is Waverly Hills. Now, I know that, hundreds of investigators have been there, but there's a uniqueness to it that I want to experience, and I have not had the opportunity to get there yet. And every time we do plan it, something else comes up or we get pulled someplace else. But that is one of the places. And then the haunted forest in Japan is the other place I'd like to get to. When we were there in Japan, it was on our list to go, but we ran out of time and didn't get an opportunity to get. It's way outside the city, couple-hour drive, and we just didn't get an opportunity to get there. But that is definitely on my bucket list as well.
Matt's been over to Waverly Hills, and he hasn't been the same ever since. So,
what are you talking about?
In a good way or a bad way?
Wait, you just cut out there. What do you say?
Oh, I said I can't describe it. I don't know. He's just changed.
No, nothing really happened there too much. I think in the tunnel, the death tunnel, it's basically the only thing we had a little bit of activity. Plus, we got some weird feelings on the 4th floor that I remember.
Right.
That's about it. Not too much.
Okay. Good to know. But like I said, it's just one of those items as a paranormal investigator. You got to go check it out. So it's on our bucket list.
Yeah. I want to go to either Pavalia or I also want to go to Chernobyl. So,
Chernobyl. Wow.
Those are two of my biggest bucket lists right here. So
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, the radiation keeps me away from Chernobyl, but I'm sure it's died out a little bit by now.
Awesome. We need to make it into a shirt. I want to be pinned up against the wall. I want to get scratched. I want to get scratched and pinned up against the wall. Yes, I guess I'm kinky now. That's hilarious. What place or recorded evidence would you show a non-believer? Oh, that's a good question.
It's a very good question. The thing about it, a true non-believer is there's probably nothing you could actually show them that there is going to change their mind. I mean, people run on all spectrums of where they fall within what they believe. And, you got people who will believe anything you show them, and you got people who won't believe anything you show them. But if I was really trying to maybe not convince, because we don't do that. I mean, we show what we've captured, and people can take it for what it's worth to them. But if I was trying to maybe give the best evidence to show somebody that I thought might spark their interest, probably the apparition that Matt played from the balcony. I would probably play a couple of the FLIR clips that we had. We were in the Red Garter Inn up in Williams, Arizona a few weeks ago, and we captured this really cool FLIR image of this, what looks like a woman in a late 1800s dress, and this was an old bordello. So that fits perfectly. I'd probably show that. And we have EVP evidence that I don't even know where I'd begin to start playing, although I am pulling a whole bunch of them for a radio show I'm doing next month. But I've got some EVPs that you just can't deny that are responding to questions asked or threatening us, calling out my name, all sorts of things like that.
So we have a lot of questions going on here, so I'm going to go through them. So what was the scariest experience, or what was the most memorable experience for you?
Well, there's lots of memorable ones. The scariest one was years ago when we first started, and I blame my wife for this, but we were exploring this old hotel, and she gave the spirits, she literally flat out said, use your energy to do what we're asking. If you don't have enough, use my husband's. Well, I absolutely, yeah. I mean, that just opened the door to trouble. But I remember being completely out of it. Normally, after an investigation, we would go back out. We would close things down. We would do protection prayers, a whole array of events. But I literally remember hearing what she was saying to me, saying, okay, we're going to pray. I'm going to say the words. You just repeat them. I could not even do that. The words literally just would not come out of my mouth. And it was really freaky. My sense of timing, direction was all messed up. I was not myself at all. And we had gone through, like I said, seeing shadow figures running left and right down the hallways, voices being captured that we could actually hear with our own ears. But that was definitely a scary, memorable experience for me, and one mistake that this was years ago, but one mistake we will never make again.
Ever again.
Ever again. Exactly.
Interesting.
So this one is the thought that spirits will communicate in your spoken language would be a misconception. You mean from a different country?
No, they will speak in what they know you can understand. We only had one in a language we couldn't understand, and the actual statement, I don't know if anybody out there speaks Latin, but the statement was "Koji Lili," and I don't know what that means, and still to this day I don't know what it means. But that was the only one. Yeah, probably. That's probably exactly what it means. Get out. But
it's
Japanese,
which means get out.
Get out. That makes perfect sense. But the Japanese, the Tagalog, and the English we could interpret. So they were using languages that we did understand.
Has one ever attached to you? Yeah, we already have that question answered.
Yes, it has.
Besides protection, prayers, I think this person means, any other methods like items?
Absolutely. We've got a whole array of religious items too.
Investigators in there, or... Oh, sorry. It just caught up with me right now. Just throw pull a mat, throw other investigators in there first, and see if they get attacked. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I usually go in first. What do you mean?
That's a good test, though. We should test that out. But yeah, we have a whole array of.
Oh, sorry.
Only issue is if you throw me in first, it'll be like, it's all good. And then you guys come in and things happen. It's like, it's not good. It's not good. Well, wait for me.
It is true. Okay, let's go in.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen next time, Rocky. I'll be like, yeah, it's good in here. And you come in. It's like, now things are getting interesting.
Oh, yeah, so let's get back to that. So you use Christian or Catholicism or
a little of both, but we've got everything. We've got religious items, crosses, rings, medals that we put in our pockets with, St. Anthony coins, all sorts of things. We've got sage, we've got holy water, we've got just about every item you can think of to be able to shut things down or clear things away. We've got a book that's put in with the holy water, which is full of, St. Michael's prayers and all sorts of prayers for cleansings and cleanings. And what we do depends on where we've been, how vicious it seemed, although that can be deceiving sometimes. But there's a certain set we always do, and then there's a set that we'll do on top of those if we feel it's necessary.
Okay. So I have another one from here. 1 second. I'm trying to look for it. So have you ever had a spirit say you're welcome after you've thanked them for responding?
Many times. This began in the Hotel San Carlos, where we'd ask them a question, we'd know they responded, and we'd say, you're welcome. And we've actually gotten responses by saying you're welcome. And we also believe that due to that mutual respect, that our answers grew over those years that we first started investigating, because we gained the respect of the spirits communicating with us. But one of the things my wife did, which I probably would have failed at, but every time we went into that location or any location, she would always, the first thing she'd do was introduce us. She'd say, I'm Cherie, this is my husband, Tony. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to communicate. And she'd do that time after time after time. And we noticed over the years that we were doing this, that we started to go to locations we had never stepped foot in before. Yet they would call us by name, either first, last, or both. And they'd literally say, hi, Tony, hi, Cherie, or hi, Rathmans. And we had never stepped foot in there before. But, that's a whole nother theory of, universal consciousness and everything else. But that's how it occurred. And it worked out great for us.
I think this one was kind of answered because you mentioned that your wife was saying, like, the spirits were saying this stuff to you. But it's like, do you ever get cursed at a lot by spirits, or are they generally nice?
Well, it depends on where we're at, and it does vary. In fact, man, I think you have an EVP clip after we had done a house. We cleansed it. We forced out the spirits. We salted the doorways. We saged it. We sprayed it with holy water. And I was explaining to the homeowner that the house is now cleared and the spirit should be restricted from returning. And that one, you hear the EVP where they literally tell me to, F off and that they're going to come and get me.
What's the name of it?
Let me take a look here. What was called,
that? What was that? Number 5.
Let's see. It is called. It's called F.U. Tony.
I don't think I have that one.
No problem.
Freedom you, Tony. Freedom you.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Yeah, I don't think I have that one.
All right, no worries. Okay. But yeah, we get cursed out a lot. But again, it depends on the location. It depends on what kind of entities are there. When you normally hear a lot of cursing and a lot of negativity, that's leaning towards a darker side. Now, I'm not saying it's still not human spirits, but it's pushing in that direction. And, those are signs of what you're up against. When they're saying hello, when they're giving names, not so much to worry about. When they're cursing you out, a little more to worry about. When, the fridge is flying across the kitchen at you, bigger problem.
What? I wish. That's a powerful one.
Little bigger than the pebble, but yeah.
Just a little. Just kidding. Well, one right here. This one was already answered earlier. What kind of evidence you would show to a skeptic and stuff like that. But I'm just letting you know that has been notified. Basically, he said the thermal one, and this was an interesting one for him.
Yeah, there's a whole array that I'd probably show if I was looking to try to sway. But like I said, we don't do that. We're not trying to convince anybody of anything. We're just showing truly what we captured. But I would give them a combination of, audio responses, both EVP and Spirit Box. I would show apparitions we've captured. I would show FLIR imaging that we've captured. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like it's the idea of what's been happening. I was trying to get it to go after him at the Old Watch Show Club.
I was waiting for it too. I was ready. I was ready. Oh man, it was so bad. So bad. We were intensifying the situation over at the Wash Show. We were trying to get a positive response from a spirit. So
totally.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Linda Vista Hospital? Frank Sierra mentioned. I don't know.
No. By the time we realized that was a fantastic paranormal location, I think they turned it into a retirement home or something. So
this is hilarious to me.
Well, exactly. They did the same thing.
The door opens and closes, like you're like 80 and like.
Oh man! Imagine.
Oh man, that's so horrible.
Yeah, we tried to get into the Cecil Hotel last year too, and same thing. It completely shut down. Well, it's not called the Cecil anymore. It was called something on Main.
Main, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually doing when I tried to go there, they were doing the American Horror Story Hotel. So
very cool.
Yeah, then they revamped the whole. But a lot of history. The Cecil Hotel. You got Richard Ramirez used to stay there. The Elisa Lam case. Many other murderers have stayed at that hotel. A lot of crazy history behind it. So,
this one says, so when you do pass or crossover, are you expecting some nice and not so nice interactions?
Well, the thing about crossing something over is, every person alive today has free will, and I don't believe you lose that free will when you pass over to the other side. That's part of who you are. That's going to go with you. So we don't ever try to cross anybody over. We feel that they are where they either are supposed to be or where they want to be. You always have spirits asking for help. Now, if they ask for help, that's totally different. But there's a difference between restricting a spirit from an area, somebody's home, than crossing them over. So that one's a little difficult for me to answer, because we don't purposely cross anybody over. We'll force them out of a location, but we won't tell them they're on the wrong side. I believe spirits have free will, just like every one of us have, and have the ability to come and go as they want.
Thank you so much, Mary, for subscribing.
Get the hell back to the other side. Nobody wants you here. Go back. God.
All the Facebook people that are watching, please go subscribe to the channel if you want to see me in a damn dress.
10,000. 10,000.
Yeah, we need 10,000. That's a lot. So you guys have to share a lot.
It's not a lot. It's probable.
It's probable because we're at 4,260 at the moment.
I'm telling you, there'll be an address by next week.
Yeah, right. Nikki better be going quicker than. It's kidding. I think she has some time. I'll be surprised if we even got it that quick. I wonder if we could get fan art of Matt's in Rocky and kinky outfits. Damn it. But I had, yeah, we'll share it. I actually have to go get a PO box because people keep asking me about that. So we get a PO box later. But that's a weird one. Spirit. Whoops, not that one. Spirits do have free will from moving between the light and our reality. A cowboy figure keeps appearing in Tony's door at the way by the closed door.
Right here? Right there?
Yeah.
Is that where they're talking?
If that's true, we caught it on video.
It's very possible.
Nikki's like, oh, it could be done. Oh, there you go, guys. You better get those subscribers up because Nikki can get it out quick. I'm afraid I'm going to be so lost as a spirit I can't go anywhere without a GPS. That's so me. I need either a map or a GPS because I'm horrible with directions. I know, right? Robert does seem like he has the hots for us, apparently. He's might be secretly gay. I'm just kidding. Nothing wrong with that. It's like a negative photo. Oh. And okay, so yeah, if anyone has any more questions, just let me know, and we will ask this guy over here. What is it that you enjoy the most about the paranormal, Tony?
Wow, so many things. But, I mean, there's a reason why we're called EVPI or Entity Voices, Paranormal Investigation, is I'm into the spirit communication. When I can ask a question and get an answer that just absolutely cannot be denied, that it's answering the question I'm asking from a place where nobody else is and nothing else is around, that's my favorite part, is to be able to get that communication from the other side. And over the last decade, we've had extreme success with it. And that just absolutely fascinates me. I mean, I love all the other tools. I mean, we have almost everything that's out there. But when I can get a voice that is discernible as human voice responding to a question, there is no better proof to me that it exists. And that by far is my favorite aspect of it.
May I ask what audio recorder you use?
We use a variety of them. I've got a couple of Marantz. I've got some Tascams. We've got a couple of cheaper Sony models. Those are the ones we use on a regular basis for capturing EVPs. Then, of course, we've got parabolic mics, and we've got a slew of different equipment that, depending on where we're at, what kind of background noise is involved, determines what the best use of which recorder is.
So you went from a camcorder, audio recorder, and an EMF meter, buying this for your wife to go on a ghost hunt, and now you have a slew of equipment.
We have, the last investigation we did, we spent 3 days, 2 nights in, and I think I loaded 22 bags up 2 flights of stairs for 2 nights. It looked like we were moving in, not spending 2 nights, but it was all paranormal equipment.
This one says from Rain Archer, what advice would you give? I mean, would you have for someone wanting to explore the paranormal more? ? What, of course, being respectful to the contacted spirits / space.
Sure. Well, my first advice would be, if it's not something you've done before, find a group who does it regularly and get advice and learn from them. Maybe the first time you go out, you go with that group. There are dangers involved, and I don't want anyone to think that, there's not. There are. And
so just don't investigate with me, then you're good.
Yeah, and don't go with Matt, because you'll come back in a dress with scar marks tattooed on your arm. But in all seriousness, no, I would highly recommend a group that's been around for a while, that has a good reputation. This allows you to learn from them. It allows you to maybe get to use some of their equipment to find out what you like, what works for you. Because equipment is different for everybody. Some people love certain pieces, some people hate certain pieces, but it allows you to experience and learn what happens without taking the huge dangers of going by yourself or making mistakes that any paranormal group would say, don't do that. You don't want to do that. So that would be my advice, is learn from a group who's been around a while and let them give you advice on what to do, what not to do, and do some investigations with them before ever going off on your own.
So this one also, this is pretty far from where you live. So have you ever been to the Sally House?
No, we were actually invited, but I can't remember what happened. But no, that is another place I have not been.
What's the Sally House?
It's a known possible demonic entity at the Sally House that pretends to be a little girl.
Right.
What state is it?
I think it was it Massachusetts? I can't remember what state it was.
It's definitely far East Coast. I can't remember whether it's Massachusetts, Connecticut, one of those, but yeah.
Yeah, don't quote me. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's somewhere on this side. So yeah, I want to investigate it. Anything that's demonic. I'm looking for other questions. Oh my gosh, is the dress going to be on OnlyFans? No. Not going to have an OnlyFans.
Yes, it will.
No, it's going to be on the channel for everyone to see. You hit 10,000.
/ Matt's clapping cheeks. So
it's going to be on the channel if you hit 10,000. And then deleted in a week.
But once it's on the internet, it lives forever, man.
I know.
You'll never escape it.
I know. Someone's going to download that video. What should the guys?
Sir Spooks.
Sir Spooks does a video on it.
Yeah, as long as it makes it Sir Spooks.
paranormal dresses.
I should get Sir Spooks to guest talk for the video.
Yes.
Sir Spooks featured some of our videos like 5 times already, so it's now we need to get him on our channel. So can you guest speak for this one? Get experience from others with experience. Exactly. Sally House is in Kansas. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I don't. Right. Maybe I don't want to go there. When I drove through Kansas, it was the most boring place I've ever driven through in my life. I was like, pure, just flat land, grass, and that's it. I didn't even see rocks. It was not even really any trees. It was like, oh my God, how did people stay sane here? It's like being, like those white rooms in like a insane asylum where they have to stay in that room forever. Imagine that, just grass. That's all you see for miles. I'm like, holy crap.
Here's a good question. Is there any equipment you don't like using?
Yeah, well, I definitely have my preferences. There are items that are popular in the paranormal field that I have difficulty with how they respond, how they operate, how they function. But before I name off any, the point is that, like I said, different equipment works for some people and not for everyone. And everybody's a little bit different. And it has to do with your own energy, your own connection. I mean, let's face it, if you break down any connection to the paranormal, the main connecting factor isn't the equipment, it's you. It's you as a person that connects, and that equipment just helps that connection, helps the communication or the evidence. So the real end result of paranormal investigating isn't actually the piece of equipment. It's you, the person, interacting with that piece of equipment. So yeah, I definitely have ones that I don't prefer, and I have ones that I do prefer, but I'm not, excuse me, I'm not going to name them off because it's going to vary by person. But, there's ones that I have a little bit of a hard time with just because of the way that they either work. There's a lot of apps out there that, people are like, "Oh, this thing works great," and you take one look at it and you're like, "Okay, it's showing you ghosts on a radar." If you think that's legit, okay. But so I'm not going to go into detail, but there's ones I prefer and ones I don't prefer.
Thank you so much, Frank Sierra, for the super chat. By the way, when I go out to California, I'm filming some more skits for the super chats. So I think the next Devil's Hour Live, I'm going to have the skits ready for everyone. For when they $10 and above super chats are going to get a little skit video. It's going to be funny. So when I see Rocky, we have one in mind already. So we're going to do that. I already have one filmed, but I want more than just one to show. So
reason.
Agree with Arden. Paranormal agrees with you. Thank you, Frank. See you next time. Now that's an image I can't get out of my mind. Oh man, Rocky in a thong. Yeah, that's at 20,000, right?
On my onlyfans.com / Rocky's K2 meter. So.
Oh man. Well, yeah. So there's let's think let's think of some other questions. Sorry if I'm being slow in the questions because I am a bit tired. So
that's okay. No worries.
Anyway, we had a lot of fun here. I miss where are you located is what Jay Paranormal says.
What the heck was that? Something just flew off my wall. We are located I don't know what that was. We are located in Phoenix, Arizona. And we handle neighboring states as well. But the majority of our investigations for private home investigations are in Tucson or Phoenix area. But yeah, we're located in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, now let's try and get something to move something again.
I don't even know what that was. That was so freaky.
Can you
paranormal activity happening live?
Can you move his keyboard a little on the back behind him, or the speaker, or his headphones? Throw his headphones off.
Hat included. Just rip it across the room.
Have him scream.
I'm looking for that cowboy back in that back doorway.
Yes. That's what we need right now. Caught on Devil's Hour Live for the first time ever. That would be awesome. But, so I wish the entity would do something.
I think it just did.
I mean, on video. It was off camera. Damn it.
Yeah, it was off camera.
Damn it, Spirit. Don't get it off camera. We hate that.
That's a question I have for you, though, and I'm wondering if you've experienced this, because I know every time we set up cameras, a lot of the paranormal activity literally avoids them, like they know exactly where they are, exactly if they move something, how it'll not be shown on the lens. Do you guys notice that? Does that happen to you, Matt, where you set up when we were in the Red Garter Inn, the image we caught on the FLIR stood in the one single spot where we did not have a camera that could cover it. How does that happen? And continuously, does that happen to you?
It's happened many times where you're recording and don't capture on camera. Like, for example, I was at the Mackey Mansion and a voice recorder was thrown across the room. Saw it with my own eyes, except didn't capture it on camera because we're all pointing at a different direction. Well, thank you very much, by the way, for this comment.
Everybody follow Matt.
Subscribe if you want to see me in a damn dress. Jesus. I have to promote that now.
10,000 subscribers. Matt Tactical.
That's Zach.
Dress.
It's Zach.
I'm going to use that Ace Ventura and then just put your face over it when he goes.
And what was this one? It was Femme. Their way. Okay, so oh my gosh, more of these dress How many dress comments am I going to get every live stream now? Jesus.
10.
The best protection someone can take is a camera. That's funny.
There's some truth to that, though. I mean, we've actually gone to stay at places that we covered every square inch with DVR cameras, night vision, full spectrum cameras, and guess what happened? Nothing. So, yeah, you want to not run into something? Set up a camera, let it record, and you'll be fine.
Zach says, will you be wearing a wig? I don't know. I kind of had that funny idea that I kind of want to mix it with the tactical stuff. That would be hilarious. For the dress and the tactical stuff. And then it should be one of those strip away dresses.
Like, oh boy.
You look like Dog the Bounty Hunter with the dress. Oh man.
Yeah, I know, right? This become a drinking game. Every single time that this is mentioned about the dress, take a shot. You'd be dead. Then we'll have to do an EVP session. Just kidding. It's like they purposely do it. Hold on, I just missed a comment. Purposely do it to make you feel nuts. What?
I think that's
interesting.
I'll see if Gabrielle has old dresses. Gabrielle is too small. I couldn't fit in any of that. And also, we already have Nikki making a dress.
Sponsored by Haunted AF. Be sure to get your stuff from hauntedaf.io. Bye.
Yes. What color? You already know what color I like.
Black.
But it's going to be the fans that decide, just because if they hit to 10,000 subscribers, that's I should do whatever they want.
That pink,
I guess. Oh man, I hate that
black dress, pink.
I hate that color.
I'll promote you now. Velcro signs all day.
Yes. Put patches on. You promote it now. That's funny. I got. Oh man, this is gonna get crazy. I think a black dress, a slinky black dress, will definitely catch a demon's eye.
Where is this paranormal?
Yeah, I know, right? What happens to the paranormal talks here? Now it went to just me dressing up, and like people just want me to be a cross-dresser for some reason.
I don't understand this.
I don't understand this either. I don't even know how this started.
I don't remember. We should have recorded that.
I wish we would have recorded whatever flew off the wall.
Me too.
What was it?
I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure. I don't see anything missing, but it was loud, so something fell. I don't know.
You have any animals?
Yeah, but not in this room. I have a dog, but he's out in the living room, so he's not in here.
I don't think he jumped up on the table and knocked anything off.
No, I don't think so either.
A push-up bra. You know what's funny? I've had jokes made to me that I needed a push-up bra. That's actually funny. But no bras, just dress.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Oh man, this is gonna be embarrassing.
You said it.
Oh my god. When you dress up
for the Lambs music.
When you dress up when I dress up in a dress, I'm gonna call you Zach Bagan's girl. Oh my god.
Matt Bagans.
No. I'll attach They will attach to Matt, and it will. Oh, the Velcro. Okay, for the strip and the Velcro. I get it. Okay. That's co-investigator. Dress started. Why is this?
Will draw his date out of a hat. That's when it started.
Oh my god.
Remember we were talking about tutus and everything.
At the Monroe House.
Yeah, that's right at the Monroe House. What did the Monroe House conjure?
I don't know.
It conjures
weird shit.
Some weird stuff. Yeah, very much. Now this is becoming into not the paranormal show anymore. It should be. It's the what the.
What was that?
What was that show? What was that show?
I gave you a whole new title.
Yes.
New shirt. Nikki says she promised she'll make me feel sexy. Oh God. I started with that's a good idea. That's like the only thing that will actually make me be okay with it, because that's a pretty big amount. And we're halfway there almost, so. The demons will test you, Matt, and not your co-investigators. Oh, then it's exactly what I want.
So she's putting a spell on the dress, is what she's saying.
Oh, you putting a spell on it? Is that what you're doing, Nikki?
She's sewing in the spells.
I don't know about the demon stuff. Like, I don't want it to affect my family members is the thing. This was a very weird and interesting night. Yes, it was, Selena. Yes, it was.
Oh, there's the cowboy. Oh man.
Black dress would be awesome. So someone says black. So some people are saying black, some people are saying pink. We have to put a poll up.
Black and pink.
We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait. Oh my god. We're gonna have to wait until it gets closer to 10,000 though. So before we start that stupid poll. Oh my god. But anyway, we're gonna be wrapping it up now. This is getting too weird tonight. Damn it.
Isn't that what the show is about? Being weird? Weird things happening. So.
But Tony, what kind of things do you want to promote or call out for yourself, for your stuff?
Well, we've got a variety of sites. www.entityvoices.com. You can check out our investigations there. I'd like to call out our haunted hospital, which is the old Phelps Dodge Hospital, which is www.coppercanyonprc.com. You can book 2-hour investigations. You can book 10-hour overnight investigations. You got the hospital all to yourself. No one else is there with you except the group of people that you bring. We've got a YouTube channel, which is Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations. We've got a paranormal live stream for Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence on Wednesday nights. You can watch that under Tony Rathman on Facebook. And I think that pretty much covers the majority of it. We've got all the Twitter and everything else, but those are the main channels if you're actually looking to see something.
Okay. Now, I just want to thank our Patreon and channel members. Right now, we got Sally Engel. I don't know if we're saying her last name right. Julie Fett, Conry Barnes, Hinsdale Girls, Sandy Wolf, Limelit Girl, M City, Carolyn Bozek, and Danielle Heel. I can't. Is that how you say the last name? Christy Vidrio, Jane of the Willow, Arden Paranormal. These are all Paraseekers and up on the either Patreon or the channel members. If you guys want to become a channel member or a Patreon member, Paraseeker or up, you will be called out every live stream. You get a little shout outs. So if you guys want to do that, the links are in the description, and also my moderators can give you those links if you want to become. There is exclusive footage and exclusive behind the scenes stuff for both. They both get the same access. I believe I make a little bit more from Patreon because I think that YouTube takes 30% of that too. So it helps more on Patreon, I believe. But new subscriber, awesome. I'm happy that you subscribed. You're getting closer to the dress. And then, so yes, right. For example, the Paratruther, I actually have that tier where you could actually watch me edit a full feature documentary. So if you are into the behind the scenes stuff. So we also have the Paratactical, which is $10, and that one you get to see YouTube content edited too. So if you like to see behind the scenes of editing, and if you're interested in all that, you can go do that. And yeah, so now we also got where is it? Here's Rocky's stuff. If you want to go follow all that.
Rocky Rocky ITC, Paranormal on Air, Chill Seekers Paranormal, www.chillseekers.com, Rocky.com, at Rocky 316. Yeah, that's devilshourproductions.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it. /devilshourproductions.com, Paranormal Research Unit, Devil's Hour Productions, real Matt Benton, not the fake one, real Matt Benton Benton and Paranormal Research Unit. And you can also go get the gear, Teespring / Devil's Hour
It's actually Devil's Hour Store.
Devil's Hour Store. And you can go get the Haunted AF stuff, which is exclusive at hauntedaf.io. It's not .com. It's .io. hauntedaf.io.
OMG.
That's pretty much. OMG. LOL.
Yes, we'll add the 10K photos on Patreon. Oh my gosh. No, I had to keep my promise. I had to be on the channel for everyone to enjoy, I guess, if that's even enjoying. Cringe! This is going to be one of those other cringe moments in my life, I guess, when we hit to that. It's going to be a sad moment for me.
It's going to add to your memories.
Ah, God.
Memories.
That it will. Especially when you wake up tomorrow morning, you find out you're at 9,800 submissions.
It's like, oh crap. Man, I'll be surprised if these people can even do that. That would be awesome. Like, if you guys did that, I'd be like, I'll call up Nikki and be like, Nikki, we're gonna need that dress more stacked.
ASAP.
It's we're going up in subscriptions now. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful. It was good discussion, some interesting dress moments, but the audience loved it, and that's what's important. And
it's the audience that started it.
and I'm sure they'll be looking for that number to hit 10,000 as quickly as possible. So, it'll be interesting to keep an eye on and see what happens. But thank you both. Thank you all of you for a great show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
man. All right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
That's a wrap.
Yep.
You want to support Roller Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roller Martin Unfiltered. By going to rollermartinunfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Many of you know him well. He is one of the foremost intellectuals in the country. I did not say black intellectuals, foremost intellectuals. He's an author, a scholar, lecturer. He is a professor, and he simply goes by. The only time you might ever hear him not got something to say is if you're listening to, of course, John Coltrane.
It's true.
And Dr. Cordell West. And Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
Dr. Cordell West, how you doing?
How you doing, my brother? Man,
I'm great,
salute
sir.
you, brother. You got longevity, though, brother. You rolling. You are, in Curtis's language, brother. You've been keep on pushing, and I respect you, though, brother. Love and respect you. Love that A5A too, though, brother. In the name of Donny Hathaway and Duke Ellington and Martin Luther King Jr. and John Hope Franklin and a whole host of others, including Roland Sebastian Martin himself and Cornell.
And Cornell, and earlier we had Reverend Dr. William Barber. So,
Lord, and we want to salute brother BB too, man.
Yes, sir. That's an amazing song.
He represents a grand exemplar of our great tradition, man. The black musical tradition, the greatest modern tradition in the modern world, dealing with catastrophe and responding with creativity and compassion. So we salute BB and CC. Their whole family is part of the nobility of the artists that keep us real and keep us accountable, my brother.
Speaking of that, are you? I asked this to Erica Alexander, and I said this, and I've been saying it. In my 51 and a half years, I have never seen the kind of movement that we have seen in this country, actually around the world, since George Floyd was murdered 6 weeks ago. When you see King Leopold statues coming down in Belgium, when you see them targeting roads in England, when you see in New Zealand taking down colonizer statues as well, when you see corporations having to respond to rebellions on the inside from black employees and young white allies as well, when you see police departments, I mean, George Floyd's murder literally has unleashed something that this we have not seen in more than 50 years.
You are absolutely right, though, brother. And Brother Floyd Jr., though, man, his impact on the world. We were comparing him with Emmett Till in 1955, but now it is so global and international. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens when the manifestation of a spirit, of a hatred, of an injustice, in this case of white supremacy, and the fact that it's a combination. You got a neo-fascist gangster in the White House, lying, tied to crimes. You've got pandemic in place, so people do have extra time to think about some things rather than just get caught in their routine. And then you got public lynching. And then the hunger and the thirst for something real. All that coming together, and my brother, this marvelous manifestation of militancy on the streets in the name of a bearing witness in the face of white supremacy is a beautiful thing, though, man. It was unprecedented. Nobody could have predicted this. Nobody.
Right. Well, and I think I was having a conversation last night, and someone said that this thing just happened. I said, no, this did not just happen. I said this was a buildup. This was a constant buildup. I said you can go back to Eric Garner. You can go back to those deaths, John Crawford III, Rekia Border, Yana Jones. You can go back. You can Breonna Taylor, Mark Arbery. You can go back to Trayvon Martin. You can go back to Jenna Six. I said you can just keep going back. I said, and then what you had, I said, for the 12-year-old kid, white kid, when Obama announced in February 2007, that white kid's now 25. And so you have all of those things. And I said, we can't overlook that for them, their first president was a black guy. And then the second time, 8 years, then a woman is a leading candidate. So the world that they have seen is totally different from previous generations, and it has unleashed these forces that, frankly, America and the world was not prepared for.
That's exactly right. The one thing I would add, though, brother, and you tell me what you think about this, is the intense Afro-Americanizing of young people of whatever color in hip-hop culture.
Yes.
From Tupac and Biggie all the way through Missy, all the way up to Jay-Z and Kanye. We know how confused our brother Kanye is, but I still love the brother, appreciate his genius. But the impact of the hip-hop artists in shaping the sensibilities of a lot of those young activists who are out there, you see, because they've heard from NWA. They've heard from the various artists about police brutality. Now they get a chance to see the public lynching before their very eyes. And so in that regard, the role of the arts becomes very important in terms of shaping the sensibilities of these hundreds of thousands of folk, but disproportionately young folk who hit the street. Does that make sense, my brother?
No, it makes total sense, because again, but that's a part of these forces and how they're moving and how they're converging.
Yes.
One of the things that, and Reverend Barber and I were talking about this here, and this probably was around the third week after the death of Floyd, and people kept talking about riots. They kept talking about looting. They kept talking about rebellion. Many of us were using the phrases reckoning. And then I went to my library, and then I grabbed a series of books. And I see your books behind you. And one of the first ones, I was trying to really think about this thing in a much broader and bigger way.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought about was Du Bois' Black Reconstruction. Then I pulled out Eric Foner's book, Reconstruction, America's Unfinished Revolution.
Oh, yes.
Then
and those two go together, hand in hand. 1935, 1987.
Then I pulled out Manning Marable's The Second Reconstruction and Beyond in Black America.
Oh, yeah.
And then Dr. Barber's book, The Third Reconstruction, Moral Mondays. I have been saying that this is the third Reconstruction, that we should not look at this as sort of this short-term thing. We should look at this thing as the first Reconstruction was 12 years. The second Reconstruction, Marable has it 45 to 2006. I really have it from 54 to 68. I said, which lasted 14 years. We have to be thinking in terms of the third Reconstruction, because we have to, Reconstruction means literally reconstruct the nation, reconstruct the system, reconstruct the paradigm, not make small fixes. Your thoughts?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I would turn to Du Bois's great text of 1921 called The Gifts of Black Folk. A lot of folk know the 1903 book, The Souls of Black Folk, but the gifts of black folk. He says, what are the gifts? Well, two of the major gifts is the reconstruction of freedom, the reconstruction of democracy. But the big difference here, though, brother, is that this third Reconstruction that you talked about, that Brother Barber talks about, and Brother Eddie Glaude talks about in the Third American Founding in his recent book on James Baldwin, Begin Anew, is that we're this moment of the decay and decline of the American empire, so that the impact of America around the world is lessening, not just its reputation, but its inability to present itself as something that it is not, which is this beacon of liberty. I mean, here's, July 4th, right?
Right.
Frederick Douglass, celebrations of shame, national greatness, swelling vanity, boast of liberty, unholy license. America reigns without rival when it comes to revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy. That's Brother Frederick Douglass, July 5th, 1852. Well, now the chickens have come home to roost, though, brother. America has been revealed to be a place that cannot deliver basic goods and services to its own people. 40% of Americans living near or in poverty. It cannot protect rights and liberties when it comes to those dissenting voices that are being pushed to the side too often. And it cannot deliver purpose and meaning, because its commodified culture is so spiritually empty and vacuous, and it's all about getting over and manipulation and domination rather than learning how to care and nurture for others and cultivate intimacy and love, which is what makes life worth living. That's why you got the drug overdoses taking place. That's what you got, the unbelievable sense of meaninglessness, what I call nihilism, taking place, so that the culture of an empire, as well as its nation state, with all of its militarism around the world, AFRICOM in Africa expanding and so forth, dropping drones on innocent people. And then the greed, my brother, the greed beginning on Wall Street and spilling over, which is out of control. That's the difference between the second Reconstruction and the third one, because the second Reconstruction, America was just beginning to expand itself beyond the continental bounds, given its internal imperial expansion, looking for Guam, Puerto Rico, Philippines, and so forth. Now America is on the decline and decay. And you begin to see what Malcolm was talking about. You're going to reap what you sow. Sooner or later, those chickens going to come home to roost. And then the question becomes, how do we, in the belly of the beast, still love truth, beauty, goodness, love black people enough to recognize that the reconstruction and the reawakening is the only option, or America goes under?
I was on this call last night, and this guy kept saying, well, just can we put a number on it? And he said, is it reparations? I said, no. I said, no, it's not. He says, well, can we put a number on it? I said, no. I said, it's an unknown number. And he was like, well, I don't understand. I said, see, here's the problem with this conversation. I said, how America always works is it's so like you take your car in and you don't really want to hear what the mechanic, just tell me how much it's going to cost.
Just money.
So they give you the number and you're like, okay, fine, fix it. I don't want to hear nothing else. What I explained to them is, I said, you can't put a number on this. And I know Bob Johnson came out, said 14 trillion, and I've seen other reports. I said, the reason I said I'm not going to put a number on it, the reason I'm not going to call it reparations, is because I said, this thing is so deep, it is so pervasive, it is so systemic, that if I put 14 trillion on it, once I get in, I may realize it's 40 trillion.
Yeah, 20. I was thinking 28, 45. Yeah.
I said, so what you want me to do, you want me to limit. So when we hit that limit, well, you said it was 14. Hey, here's 14. I said, no. I said, because you got to deal with education, you got to deal with housing, you got to deal with health. I started going through all these different categories, and I said, it's not that simple. And I think that's the problem with America. The impatience of America is like, look, just how much is it going to cost for y'all to go away? And I'm saying it ain't that simple to simply say how much is it going to cost. Because again, I'm sitting here with where do we go from here? Chaos on Community.
Ooh, yeah.
King said, America, you ain't ready to write that big check. And he didn't put a number. He just called it that big check.
No, that's real though, brother. I mean, part of it is people always want to reduce these kinds of issues of such crimes against humanity to just monetary matters, because America is a business culture. It's a market-driven culture. It's a money-obsessed culture. But you are absolutely right to resist it. But I think what you and I would agree is that there's got to be some kind of repair. So some form of reparations is required. And so we're going to have a dialogue. And the dialogue's got to be a robust dialogue. We got to bring in William Gardy. You know what I mean? You got to bring in all the different voices. You got to bring in Sister Yvette and Tone and all the other voices that's been talking about reparation. But at the same time, you see, I want to talk about redistribution of wealth in addition to reparations.
Right. I mean? and that's what I'm saying.
That's not being a citizen. That's not just about being a descendant of slavery, Jim Crow, Jane Crow. That's just as an American citizen, they have a right to Medicare. That's what Brother Bernie's absolutely right. They got a right to a job with a living wage. They got a right to decent housing, and they got a right to quality education so they can get their minds and souls together to be fortitude, to love and respect ourselves enough to be willing to fight.
And that piece right there, again, because what it does is, and this is how I've laid it out. I said, we black folks, we've never had full citizenship.
That's true.
I said we've had it technically. The fact that yesterday I did a whole hour special today on the Crown Act. Today is the first anniversary of the Crown Act. I said, if you want to understand why we're not at full citizenship, the fact that a law had to be passed that says you cannot discriminate on somebody's hair tells me there's no full citizenship. I said, if we have full citizenship, there would be no need for the Crown Act.
That's right.
I said there would be no need for us trying to get McConnell to vote on the bill the House passed that restores what the Supreme Court took out of the Voting Rights Act, declared unconstitutional. Right. I said, that's what I said to this group. It was largely white folks. I said, that's what y'all don't understand. I said, we have always had to go back and legislate our rights when you got it just because it's you.
That's exactly right. And that's what Malcolm was trying to tell us in the 60s, that you cannot be a full-fledged citizen if you have to undergo constitutional revision with an amendment to make you citizen, and then it's on paper but never enforced, it's never executed on the ground. And when you try to execute it on the ground, you get white backlash so that it can never be true in practice, even when it's on paper. We break our necks to get it on paper.
Right.
Even when you get it on paper, it's not enforced, you see. So that, it raises deep issues in terms of whether the country has the capacity to treat the masses of black people with respect and dignity. That's Garvey's question. Garvey used to say what? As long as black people in the United States, the masses of black people will live lives of ruin and destruction. Now, I have great love for Marcus Garvey. I have great love for the black nationalist tradition. I'm not a Garveyite. I'm not a black nationalist. He's my brother. They are my brothers and sisters and so forth. But that question, the Garveyite question, remains unanswered because the masses of black men, I'm not talking about the exceptional Negroes. I'm not talking about the black middle class. I'm not talking about those who have been incorporated and in some sense integrated. And I love them too, but I'm going to bring critique to bear on them if they don't put black, poor, and working people at the center of their view. And of course, for me, the Christian, focusing on the least of these, always the most weak, the most vulnerable. And I know you heard the same thing from Brother Barber.
The thing that, as I look at right now, and first of all, these brothers and sisters with Until Freedom and other organizations, New York Justice League, they are strategizing, they're planning, and they're operating. But one of the things that and there are numerous groups out there. There are groups that are national, there are groups that are regional, that are local. Of course, you have your traditional groups, the NAACP and the Urban League, but then you have a number of other different groups. What has been, it's not necessarily troubling me, but as I've been sort of trying to, again, think about this in terms of reconstruction terms.
Right.
The thing that what I keep saying is, I think, Doc, that the ask is too small. And as I was sitting here, so this was one of the things that, so MLK wrote in Where Do We Go From Here? He says, one of the main questions that the Negro must confront in his pursuit of freedom is that of effectiveness. What is the most effective way to achieve the desired goal? If a method is not effective, no matter how much steam it releases, it is an expression of weakness, not of strength. And so I think right now, the ask is too small. I have been on calls with, I'm vice president digital for National Association of Black Journalists. And we were on a call and someone was talking and they were talking about, well, this corporation, they were asking for 100,000. I said, I'm sorry. I said, that's too small. They said, Roland, what are you talking about? I said, 100 million each. That equals $1 billion. They were like, what? I said, yes, $1 billion. I said, y'all, this ain't a small ask. I think what we're seeing, people are excited. Well, Adidas is giving 100 million and Michael Jordan and Comcast is giving 100 million and Apple 100 million. And I'm sitting there going, 100 million a year? I think we got to be challenging our folks to say that the ask is too small.
That's true though, brother. That's true. Because see, what has happened now is, when you have brothers and sisters of all colors in the streets and the status quo is running scared, that they throw money at the problem. But see, philanthropy is not justice. Charity, not justice.
And it's not investment.
And it's not investment. And it's not consistent and recurrent. I like your notion of annual, yearly, a pattern of support, you see. But we got to make sure that vast amount of that money though just doesn't end up in black professional pockets.
Right.
Somehow it's got to get to our precious brothers and sisters in the hood, dealing with poverty, dealing with inadequate housing, dealing with massive unemployment and underemployment, because it's so easy that the money remains circulated within the professional class, be it black, white, or whatever. And so you end up with a class hierarchy that's just more colorful at the top, but the class hierarchy still got too many folks suffering, disproportionately black, disproportionately brown, disproportionately indigenous peoples.
Which still requires organization, which still requires structure.
And courageous leadership. Leadership.
Right, and that's the piece where what I keep saying to folk is real easy to say. It's real easy. I go back to the May Day marches we had. You had Latinos / Hispanics marching all over the country. 1 million in LA, 1 million in New York, in Chicago, in Houston, all over the place. But people say, well, why wasn't it effective? It wasn't effective because you had boots on the ground, but you did not have organized infrastructure who could then take those demands, place it within a public policy narrative, and then drive it through. See, we keep talking about King and Fannie Lou Hamer and all those folk, but you can't ignore Clarence Mitchell. If there's no Clarence Mitchell walking the halls of the Senate and the House, pushing folk on the bills, so he was doing that work, and so that's the other piece that And again, I look at these groups, and what I keep asking the groups is, okay, this is what you're doing, but what's your plan? I see but what's the plan? And you're doing, how's it reaching people? Where is it going? Where are resources going? And I think what we got to keep doing is challenging black folks, black organizations right now, saying, oh, okay, so the corporations are giving you NAACP this money and the Urban League this money. Okay, but we want to see the plan.
Yes.
What you're going to do with the resources that they are given.
There you go. We want accountability of you when the money comes in terms of your plan and how it will be executed. Now, I do want to say this about that Mayday, because I was there marching with the my Latino brothers and sisters. You remember at that particular moment, DACA was off the chart.
Yeah.
We put pressure on Brother Barack Obama. Tremendous pressure for him to push through on that executive order. We had almost 1 million folk in Washington, D.C. And I give Mark Mario credit because he was there. It wasn't that many black folk there.
Very true.
Brother Tavis was there. But I mean, you were covering it. But I mean, you everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? You everywhere. That's the kind of Houston, Texas brother you are. You everywhere.
That's right.
But the thing is that you have to be able to have an inside-outside strategy. See, you got the sister Barbara Lee's on the inside. You got Bernie Sanders on the inside. I'm talking about the folk who really gonna fight. Now, I'm not talking about folk who just posing and posturing like peacocks. I'm talking about they're gonna really come through. But you have to have insiders who are heeding the call of folk on the street, so that pressure is very, very real.
We one of the things that a few weeks ago, and we had a great conversation. You had some prison stuff that you were doing. You had a podcast, and we had this great conversation with Brothers of Alpha.
Oh yeah, I wanted to be there, but my brothers in Broadway were
yes, sir. It's all good. We had an unbelievable conversation, and the thing that and the reason I have been pushing them. And I've been talking about this here because what keeps getting stuck in my head is something that King said. Because again, I keep getting stuck on organization and infrastructure because you can't mobilize people unless you have something you're mobilizing them into.
That's right.
And I want to get your perspective on this because I have been preaching and yelling this for more than a decade now. When King said, there are already structured forces in the Negro community that can serve as the basis for building a powerful united front. The Negro Church, the Negro Press, the Negro fraternities and sororities, and Negro professional associations. But I love this line. We must admit that these forces have never given their full resources to the cause of Negro liberation. He said too many Negro newspapers have veered away from their traditional role as protest organs agitating for social change and have turned to the sensational and the conservative in place of the substantive and the militant. Too many Negro social and professional groups have degenerated into snobbishness and a preoccupation with frivolities and trivial activity. The reason that's important because what I have argued and what I said to the Brothers of Alpha and all the Divine Nine, I said, we have this massive infrastructure. We're international, national, regional, state, grad chapter, local chapter, and we have programs that go all the way down to pre-K. We're self-funded. Corporations don't fund us. I said, yet our focus for the most part is on internal. And I've argued that if there's a city council, a school board, a county commission, or a state legislature, if they see men in black and gold and don't automatically shudder, that means we have not been showing up, flexing our muscle.
Ooh, that's a powerful, powerful way of putting it, my brother. That's very real. And we should be very candid about what Brother Martin was hitting here. He was talking about the worst of the black bourgeoisie, the worst of the black middle class, or what James Weldon Johnson and Rosamond in the Negro National Anthem said, we're falling in love with the felicities of the world, drunk with the wine of the world. See, which is the superficial stuff, status, position, rather than service and sacrifice. Now, the best of the black bourgeoisie, Martin himself, Duke Ellington himself. We can go on and on. Those middle class folk that said every black person, and I would say as a Christian, everybody, but every black person has exactly the same status.
Right.
So if your child is Jack and Jill, you ought to be as concerned about brothers and sisters in the hood as Jack and Jill brothers and sisters. See, that's what Martin was getting at. So when you look at the churches, the mosques, fraternities, sororities, they've got wonderful folk in them, but they also have tendencies, and you and I have seen it over the years, to deal with superficial things.
Right.
And in a moment of crisis, and we always live in every moment of crisis, be black in America, every moment of our lives in certain such moment of crisis, is how do we tease out our courage and our vision to make sure that we can create some kind of organization. Garvey used to say what? Disorganization is a major obstacle for black freedom. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Nkrumah would say it over and over again. Organize, organize, organize.
Right.
And a variety of different kind of organizations. See, I don't think we'll ever have one overarching organization.
No.
I mean, people have come down on me recently. I was been defending my dear brother, Mr. Louis Farrakhan, in terms of his right to speak. They canceled him on Fox. I was on Fox News. I said, no, he got a right to speak. Well, you disagree with him. Well, he's my brother. We overlap on some things. We both hate white supremacy. We argue on other things, you see. But we have to be willing to take a risk. If somebody messing with you not perfect, I'm not perfect. But you are my brother. And if you know over the years, I've got to step forward. Why? Not because any of us exemplify purity, but because there's a slice in the black community of people who are willing to step out, be courageous, cut against the grain. And when they do that, even when you disagree with them, you have to defend their right to be, to speak, and so forth. And so that requires just a matter of consistency, though, brother. And consistency is a rare thing these days. Even given this historical moment that we're in, it's hard to find consistent folk. That's why I started off talking about your longevity, man. The up, the down, rolling is still there. That's
right. You ain't gonna do it, man. Right. And you're absolutely right. On that one is very. So I want you to explain, Propos. We discussed this the other day, that I don't think white America has really any understanding that with the relationship between Nation of Islam and African Americans, and some people got mad at ICE. Some people got mad at Ice Cube when CNN's Jake Tapper was criticizing Farrakhan, and Ice Cube tweeted, "Watch your mouth."
Right. Right.
What do you say to the white folks and some black folks who say, "Wait a minute, how can you be black and criticize Richard Spencer, criticize they would throw in a David Duke and other? How can you criticize them, but then you'll say that Farrakhan should speak?" How do you respond to that?
Well, one is I say first you got to quit lying about my brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan. When he said Hitler was wickedly great, he was the greatest among the wicked ones. And it was an indictment of a Holocaust. It was a critique of Hitler's treatment of Jews. So what has happened is you get this shoddy journalism where they say, Ms. Louis Farrakhan said Hitler's a great man. That's a lie. He said he's wickedly great. Well, he said something about Judaism. He said Judaism can be used as a gutter religion. Well, I'm a Christian. You know that. Can Christianity be used as a gutter religion? Hell yes. Ku Klux Klan. Constantine using Christianity to defend the empire. Christianity used against women, against gay brothers and lesbian sisters. So first you got to tell the truth about Minister Louis Farrakhan. Now, does Minister Louis Farrakhan speak only the truth? No. He got to be accountable like everybody else.
And in fact, you challenge him aggressively on his attacks on people of the Jewish faith.
Absolutely. And when we met for 9 hours, when we first met, and all I've told him was, I said, there's no such thing as the Jews. You got reactionary Jews, you got right-wing Jews, you got centrist Jews, you got progressive Jews, you got revolutionary Jews, just like there's no such thing as the blacks. Nobody speaks for me or speaks for you. We got Clarence Thomas on the one hand, we got William Barber, we got Michelle Alexander and Angela Davis on the other. And he received that. He said, Brother West, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So part of the problem is that when you have a corporate media that is so intent on lying on a brother, first you got to make sure you get the truth. Then when you get the truth and you still have disagreements, then you have a serious conversation and dialogue. But I think one can never deny the level and the breadth of the longevity of Minister Louis Farrakhan's hatred of white supremacy. That's just a fact. His impact on everyday black people. That is just a fact. That does not mean in any way that we agree with everything. I mean, of course, as he's a Muslim and I'm a Christian, we got theological disagreements, just like Malcolm and myself. But at the same time, I'm going to be very honest and always try to be candid and speak whatever truths that flow out of my soul and deal with consequences. And what has happened is it's been almost taboo to have anything to do with Minister Louis Farrakhan because of the corporate media. You see, I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong.
Speaking of that, I'm looking at various comments here on our YouTube channel, on other channels, and there've been a number of people who said, "I hear you, Dr. West, but I can't get over what you did to Obama."
Mm.
And he's been gone now for 3 years out of the presidency. And you and I had a previous conversation about that, where we had a very honest dialogue where I stated where I thought you made missteps. As you reflect on that, as you reflect on how a lot of black folks who really loved you and respected you, they turned away. How have you thought about that and played that through your mind in the last 3 years since he left the White House?
Well, I mean, one, as you know, for me to do over 65 events for Brother Barack Obama for free from Iowa to Ohio in 2008, and then support him again in 2012, I would say